YouTube is rolling out a 1080p premium option. Is this good or bad? I'll tell you a secret. Video resolutions are a lie, but in a good way. If you have a video clip with a large black area on it, then that area will probably only be drawn at a very low resolution because it doesn't need a high resolution to draw that bit. Modern videos are devious opportunists, sneakily dropping the resolution and detail amounts everywhere on the screen that they think they can get away with it. That includes large areas of the same colour and areas of fast motion where it isn't visible for long enough for you to notice how bad it actually looks. But it's good that it takes all these shortcuts, because it means that it has more detail to lavish where it matters. Or, failing that, smaller file sizes. But don't believe that a 1080p video is really 1080p. Some bits will benefit from full 1080p quality, yes, but it isn't always possible to do, especially if you're streaming a video on a low quality internet connection and the video comprises of lots of moving water or grass or confetti, which you've probably noticed reduces the video quality to a blobby smush. So resolution is a lie, because what really matters is bitrate, which is how many bits of information it has to decorate the video with. If a 1080p video has a lower bitrate than a 720p one does, it could, and probably will, look worse than that 720p one does. If this premium version is higher in bitrate than what we're already getting, then that's good, I guess. It sounds like you'll have to pay for YouTube Premium to get it, so if this is what it is, then free users will remain unaffected. But if it means the existing 1080p version is going to be made worse, then that's a bad change, isn't it? Because now we have to pay for something that we used to get for free. But perhaps a lower quality 1080p version isn't all bad. In this video's description is a link to a YouTube dev blog post from 2018, which holds the key to understanding this. I've returned to this page over and over again over the years and still don't fully understand it, so maybe you'll have better luck. This is the bit that I don't understand, and is unfortunately the bit I think holds the key to understanding everything. It starts by saying that the higher the resolution you watch YouTube in, the more internet speed is required to view it. I get that bit, but they discovered that they could show more viewers a higher resolution video by reducing the bitrate of those options. You can see in this top diagram, the viewer has to use 360p because their internet isn't capable of handling the higher quality 480p version. So YouTube's solution was to drop the bitrate of 480p to let it run on this person's internet connection. And how much they shrink these settings by depends on the audience of that video. If lots of people with slow internet speeds watches a particular video, then it will have its bitrate dropped more, and so on. So yeah, sounds great and all, but is it really a solution, or have they just dropped the visual quality of all YouTube's quality settings? But then they assure us that the video quality hasn't been made any worse, somehow. And despite maxing out more of your internet connection, it somehow magically uses less data. In other words, YouTube has found a way for you to get your cake and eat it in multiple different ways all at once. So maybe YouTube Premium just bypasses all these tricks and shortcuts by simply delivering the highest quality version all the time. Because some of us don't care too much about data usage. We're sat at home on super fast internet connections, viewing YouTube on huge high resolution screens, where it's more important that it just looks as good as possible. So maybe this premium 1080p option is there to keep us happy, while the standard setting is for people watching YouTube on their phones in the middle of the desert, who for some reason really need 1080p at reduced bitrate instead of 720p at a satisfactory one. I don't know. We have to remember that it isn't just about the viewer's experience. It's also in YouTube's best interests to stream as little data as possible, given the immense costs of hosting, streaming, and encoding the amount of data that's present on this site. And I presume this is the justification needed to put the higher quality options behind a paywall. I mean, I don't even know if it will be restricted to YouTube Premium users just yet. It's just, premium. It's in the name, isn't it? And whatever happened to YouTube's plans to restrict high resolutions like 4K to premium users only? Did they backtrack on that, or is 1080p premium the next attempt at something like this that they're trying to push through? But really, streaming video data should be a problem that's getting less of one every year. Computers are getting faster, our internet speeds faster, and more people are viewing content on a tiny phone screen than ever before. You'd think that all this would help tame the gargantuan task of hosting YouTube. And on top of all of this, the video files themselves are getting more efficient, especially since YouTube's gradually moving over from the old VP9 standard to AV1, which is a newer and better video standard, allowing for better looking videos at smaller file sizes than before. You've probably seen Nvidia touting the benefits over H.264, which at this point is so old and outdated that you'd hope that AV1 would be significantly better, wouldn't you? But yeah, this transition is absolutely game-changing when deployed to YouTube scale operations. When they first started rolling out this new standard, I wondered if its benefits would be used to improve the video quality, or simply to shrink the file sizes, or maybe a bit of both. But now we're getting two different 1080p options to choose from. It looks like it'll do both, but separately. I may be partly to blame for this change. As a content creator, since back in 2016, I've uploaded everything I've done in 4K. Even if some of that earlier stuff was only 1080p or even less, it was still worth doing because YouTube's 4K quality setting has a higher bitrate, thus making the videos look better, even if they were recorded at a lower resolution. And I wouldn't have had to have uploaded it in 4K had YouTube actually made their 1080p option look just as good. So that would be a genuine reason I can see for them rolling out a premium option. Will I get YouTube Premium? I mean, as much as we love to criticise it, YouTube is a fantastic resource which I use daily, and indeed rely upon for my living. So it's got to be worth something to me. It's just that I've been spoilt because it has been free for so many years, and I don't like the idea of paying for what I used to get for free already. My main issue at the moment is that as someone with multiple YouTube accounts that I'm regularly switching between, I'd need to buy multiple YouTube premiums, and that's just going too far, so I'm not going to do that. At the end of the day, 1080p premium or not, I don't care so long as the content looks good enough when I watch it. For some YouTube videos that I'm only flicking through, I even prefer a lower quality setting. But when I'm gearing up for my weekly epic Oddgrub video marathon session, I want to see every single beheading in glorious 4K, and I will be most displeased if I have to pay for that privilege. I'll probably just watch the copies that I have on my hard drive instead.